Hi, this is Rob. I'm going to show you how to do the exercises that go along with the video lesson, Roman numerals. Are you ready? Let's get started. For problem I, we have write the symbol that the ancient Romans used for each of these modern numerals. And we're given 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, and 1000. And we already have the symbol I filled in for us. That stands for 1. That's the symbol that the ancient Romans used for the value 1. So for the value 5, the ancient Romans used the symbol V. For 10, they used the symbol X. For 50, they used the symbol L. For 100, they used the symbol C. For 500, they used the symbol D. And for 1000, they used the symbol M. So the Roman numerals for 1 is I, for 5 is V, for 10 is X, for 50 is L, for 100 is C, for 500 it's D, for 1000 is M. For problem II, we have write these numbers in Roman numerals, and we're given 4, 5, and 6. So there isn't just one simple symbol for 4, but there is one symbol for 5, and that's V. So 5 is V, and then we can add or subtract from V. Remember, if we put a smaller symbol before a larger symbol, or, well, a symbol that represents a lesser value before a symbol that represents a greater value, that means that we subtract that smaller symbol from the larger symbol. So if we put I before the V, so IV, that means we have 1 less than 5, and 1 less than 5 is 4. And for 6, we can do something similar, but we put the symbol after the symbol 5. So if we put a symbol of equal or lesser value after an existing symbol, that means that we add to that value. So if we put an I, meaning 1, after the V, then we add to it. So VI is 5 plus 1, which is 6. So these numbers in Roman numerals, for 4 is IV, for 5 is V, for 6 is VI. For problem III, we have write these numbers in Roman numerals, and we have 40, 50, and 60. So this is very similar to the previous problem because the value 50, there's a symbol that represents it exactly, and that symbol is L. So we just need the simple symbol L for 50. And then just like with 4 and 6, with 40 and 60, we want to subtract or add from the L, from the 50. So for 40, we want to subtract 10 from 50, and so we put an X to the left of the L. We put the X before the L, which means that we subtract from it because X is a smaller value than L. So XL means 10 less than 50, which is 40. And for 60, we do something similar, but we put it after the L, so that means that we add it. So we have LX, which means 50 plus 10, which is 60. So these numbers in Roman numerals are 40 is XL, 50 is L, 60 is LX. For problem IV, we're supposed to write these numbers as Roman numerals, in Roman numerals, and we have 3, 30, and 300. And one of the rules we're supposed to follow with Roman numerals is that we can repeat a symbol up to 3 times. We can repeat certain symbols up to 3 times. We can repeat I's and X's and C's and M's up to 3 times. So to get the value 3, we just add 3 1s together, or 3 I's together. We have I, which is 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. For 30, we do something similar, but we add 3 10s together. We add 3 X's together. X, X, X is 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 30. And then for 300, we do the same thing, but we're adding 3 hundreds together. So we have C, 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 which is 100 plus 100 plus 100, which is 300. So in Roman numerals, 3 is III, 30 is XXX, and 300 is CCC. For problem V, we're supposed to write these numbers in Roman numerals, and we have 9, 90, and 900. And it's tempting to think that you could write 9 as 5 plus 4 ones, or VIII. And sometimes in ancient Rome, they did do that. But with modern Roman numerals, the rules that we follow for Roman numerals now, we are not supposed to repeat a symbol more than 3 times. And so when we're in a situation where we would repeat it more than 3 times, we're instead supposed to subtract from the next larger value. So instead of adding to the V, or adding to the value 5, we subtract from the value 10 to get 9. So we have IX. And since the I comes before the X, and it's a smaller value than the X, it means we subtracted from the X. So it's 1 less than 10, which is 9. And then for 90, we do the exact same thing, but instead of subtracting 1 from 10, we subtract 10 from 100. So we have X, which is 10, and then C, which is 100, and that means 10 less than 100, because the X comes before the C. So 10 less than 100 is 90. And then for 900, we do the same thing, but we're going to subtract 100 from 1,000. So we have C. We start with the C. That stands for 100. And then we put it, M after it. And so since the C comes before the M, it means we subtract the C, or 100, from the M, or 1,000. So we subtract 100 from 1,000, and we get 900. So these numbers in Roman numerals, 9 is IX, 90 is XC, and 900 is CM. For problem VI, we have what are the values of these Roman numerals? And we're given VIII and XXI. So for VIII, V stands for 5. The value of V is 5. So we have 5, and then the value of I is 1. So it's 1 plus, it's 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 8. So VIII is 8, and then XXI, in X stands for 10. Remember, an X stands for 10, and it's repeated twice, so we add 10 plus 10. And then it's followed by an I, and I is less than 10. I is less than X, because 1 is less than 10. And so we add it to the total. So we have 10 plus 1, and 10 plus 10 plus 1 is 21. So VIII is 8, and XXI is 21. For problem VII, we have what are the values of these Roman numerals? And we're given XIV and XLV. They look very similar, but they're very different values. So let's figure it out here. So it starts with X, and that's 10. And then it's followed by IV. It seems at first that we would add the I because it's less than the X, but it comes before the V. So we add this whole part, but we're subtracting the 1 from the 5. So the 1 minus 5 is 4, and so we add that to the X, which is 10. So we have 10 plus 5 minus 1, or 10 plus 4, equals 14. For XLV, the X comes before an L, and the L is a greater value than the X. The L stands for 50, and the X stands for 10. So that means that we subtract 10 from 50. So we have 50 minus 10. The V follows the L, so we add the value of the V, which is 5. So the 50 minus 10 is 40, and then plus 5 is 45. So the values of these Roman numerals, XIV is 14, XLV is 45. For problem VIII, we're supposed to write this big number in Roman numerals. And we're given the note, it helps to break it down by place value and then put them all together. So the big number we're given is 435. And then we're going to figure out the Roman numerals for each of the place value amounts, and then we're going to combine them all together. So for 400, remember we can't just repeat the letter C 4 times because it's not allowed to repeat a symbol more than 3 times. So we need to subtract from the next highest value, so which is 500. So we need to subtract 100 from 500 to get the 400. So we start with the symbol for 100, which is C, and then we're going to subtract that from 500, and the symbol for 500 is D. So CD means 100 less than 500, which is 400. To get 30, we can repeat the value 10 3 times. And the symbol for the value 10 is X. So we repeat X 3 times to get the value 30. And then for 5, there's a symbol that represents 5 exactly. It's just the letter V. So that is CD is the Roman numerals for 400, XXX is the Roman numerals for 30, and V is the Roman numerals for 5. So we put it all together, and we need to do it in order. We need to start with the largest place value symbols first. So CD, 400, and then XXX, 30, and then V for 5. So 435 is CDXXXV. For problem IX, we're supposed to write this big number in Roman numerals. It helps to break it down by place value and then put them all together. And the big number we're given is 1,908. So we need to figure out the Roman numerals for 1,000, the Roman numerals for 900, and the Roman numerals for 8. So for 1,000, we have a symbol that represents that exactly. It's the letter M. And then for 900, we need to subtract from the next largest value. So we need to subtract 100 from 1,000. So we do that by starting with 100, which is C, in front of the symbol for 1,000, which is M. So CM equals 900. And then we need to do the Roman numerals for 8. And for 8, we do 5 plus 3. So we have V, which is 5, and then 3 I's, which are 1 each. VIII is the Roman numerals for 8. And now we combine them all together, starting with the largest place value. So we start with the 1,000, which is M, and then the 900, which is CM, and then 8, which is VIII. So the Roman numerals for 1,908 are MCMVIII.